Hello, this is Jesus Juker, and last time we were talking about Paul, his dispersion and background, chapter 1. We are now on chapter 2 of part 1, Paul the Jew. Alright, 3 illustrations as usual. Well, actually, there's only one, but in that one, there's 3 or 4 illustrations. On to the point. Let's go into Paul, chapter 2, Paul the Jew. Paul's religion, Judaism. In Galatians 1:13 through 14, he identified himself as one who practiced and profited in the Jews' religion. Greek, Iudaismos, Judaism. Let's go to Galatians 13 through 14. Galatians 13 through 14. It's easy to find. Galatians 1:13 through 14. Okay. 13. Okay, you know what I was like when I followed the Jewish religion, how I violently persecuted the Christians. I did my best to get rid of them. I was one of the most religious Jews of my own age, and I tried as hard as possible to follow all the old traditions of my religion. Alright, here Paul is talking about Judaism. Now, what's Judaism if you guys don't know? It's a distinctive religion, and to this day is one of the world's influential ones. Was a development of the captivity and post-captivity experiences of Judah. It may be learned the lesson too well for Judaism became a religion of the law. 4 things can be cited as illustrative of the emphasis. First, the rabbis, which are the teachers, had arisen as a lay order to be teachers of the law, displacing the priests in that function. There was no rabbis, teachers, in pre-captivity. Judah and the Mosaic system made no provision for that office. Basically, these people followed the Mosaic law, basically the 10 Commandments, but in literal terms, not in heart and literal terms. Physical and spiritual. Second, scribes had arisen to be copiers and professional scholars, lawyers, as in Luke 10:25, of the Mosaic law. These two did not exist before the captivity. That's true. And then third, synagogues, which are kind of like churches, had developed as places devoted primarily to the study law. Again, there was no synagogues prior to the exile in Babylon. By New Testament times, the synagogue was the center of Jewish education in everyday life. Synagogue life revolved around the law that was taught there, especially by teachers, rabbis. And so basically, they revolved around the Mosaic law. The Mosaic law was to test them, like I said in my last few videos. The law was to test them to see if they would actually obey God's law, but nobody's perfect. It explains it somewhere in the Bible, and Jesus is the only one who's perfect. So, and if Jesus wasn't a sinner, then how come we've hated people and everything? Jesus never hated someone. He loved them. He loved his enemies, and the people that were torturing him and killing him, he loved them. But he hated for what they're doing. He didn't want... They were as blind as sheep and blunt as sheep. And so he said, God, please, it is not their fault. And then that's when Jesus died. So all of us like sheep have strayed away. We have left God's paths to follow our own. But yet the sins were laid on him alone. Fourth, the office of the priesthood was redirected. The priests were originally meant to be teachers of Israel, but the rise of the scribes and rabbis and the hold they had on synagogue life shifted the emphasis for the priesthood into 2 other directions, to political activity and being perpetrators of the sacrificial ritual. law associated especially to the temple. Well, let me wrap this up. That was the last one. Hey, 5 minutes have passed. Sweet. This video was short. Now, we'll talk about Paul the Jew, Chapter 2, Part 2, next time. Like next week or something. But I've got a surprise story for you guys. Tomorrow on Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. And, Happy New Year. Peace. This is Jesus Juker signing out.